Hello, this is Amanda with From Where I Stamp near Kingston, Ontario. And I want to share with you new products that are coming on January 4th, 2022. And January seems like a really long ways away, but it really isn't. I keep thinking January is like 2 months away, but really it's what, 3 weeks-ish? Less than a month? So yeah, but as a demonstrator, I was able to order in December for products available for both the mini catalog, the January to June mini catalog, and the celebration catalog. So I have in here a box of stuff. Now I did go through some of it already because I've had it for a couple days, but I wanted to share with you what is coming because it's really neat. All right, so I'm going to switch the cameras around and we're going to get started to see, and then I'm going to make a card. All right, so I can show you the front of the catalog, but I can't show you the inside of the catalog yet. So I'll be able to do that in January. So make sure to follow along, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook or Instagram or my blog, and you'll be able to see more of what's inside, because look it's a good little thickness. So there's quite a lot of things in there for spring and summer and all those type of things. All right. And then celebration. So when you purchase either $60 or $120 worth of product, you earn a free item out of this catalog. So I'm looking forward especially to the rainbow paper. I got that back in November. I can't remember if I shared with you what I got then. All right, so this big box, let's put it in view here. So I did look at the designer paper because I was really excited. I love designer paper. It's one of my favorite products in any of the catalogs. All right, so let's start with embellishment. Let's start with this embellishment. So I should have opened the ribbon up beforehand. I love that they have the plastic on it to protect it, but I hate trying to take the plastic off. I know there's like an end to it somewhere, but I find, there we go, trimming off the whatever. Okay, this is called a frayed ribbon. I think it's Whisper or Basic White, or just white. Okay, I love how it has, where's my camera? There we go. So it's like this really cool, it'd be good for winter, but I could see it for a lot of other little things. All right, I should have had a basket to toss all this stuff into. All right, and I may have to, there we go. So then these are Sparkle and Shine Sequins. Let's see if I can make a mess. Sorry, the camera's moving about. But it's all these little stars and circles, sequins, and they go with the Rainbow Suite, which I don't even know the name of. But it goes with that, the new Rainbow stamp set, and there's a die, and then there's celebration paper, which maybe I'll go and dig those out before I end the video. So stick around to the end and I'll show you. All right, so here is the Cloud Punch. So it's not part of the bundle, but it's an addition. So that's fun. So Sparkle and Shine and the Cloud go together, and I'll show you at the end of the video the other items. Okay, what else do we got in here? All right, so this is one of these celebration stamp sets. So it's a $120 order. So if you have a $120 order before shipping and taxes, you would earn this for free. So there's a lot of sentiments. So they're photopolymer, and I'll stick those in there where they need to go. But that's just a lot of fun. A lot of great little sentiments. All right, so then we have the Amazing Silhouette stamp set. And this is one that I earned for free for attending on stage. The same with the this frayed ribbon. So this is kind of neat. You could do embossing for color resist, or just inking it up. It'll be fun to create with. The other thing that on stage attendees were able to earn as a prize was these brush brass butterflies. I don't know why they chose those. I'm just going to call them the BBBs, maybe. I'm afraid I might call them something else, or it will sound really weird, but these are pretty cool. And they're sticky on the back already. All right, so I'll show you the dies and stamp set. So this is what I'm going to create a card with the designer paper, and I'll show you the designer paper in a few minutes. So this is the Artfully Layered. It's a different type of stamp set for me. I'm not a hot weather person, so it's something that I don't generally create with these type of things. This makes me think of like Hawaii or Florida, or really hot, not really Florida, but Hawaii and whatnot. So this is pretty neat. So it has some dies, and I'm going to create a card using this stamp set with the matching designer series paper. Now this next, oh, and the faux sea glass goes with this as well. So I think it's all part of a suite. There was some other, I think this, if I'm remembering correctly, this ribbon goes with it. But the faux sea glass, so they're little sticky rocks, glass. They're really pretty. All right, so now this is the suite. So I'm going to move this. Actually, I'll show you the paper now. So get rid of that. Oops. And I needed some more glue. All right, let's show you that paper that we'll work with for the card we're going to make. Oh, there it is. Like, where did I hide my paper? Now, this is an old Ziploc bag from a Stampin' Up. And what was it? Stampin' Up page protectors for scrapbooking, and I've kept them all to keep my designer paper in. All right, so these are, move some things out of my way, just so I have some room. And hopefully you can see all the designs. I cleared off my desk, but maybe I haven't cleared enough of my desk off. There we go. So there's 12 pages in this pack. There we go. And they have some really bright designs, but some awesome other designs. You really can't see that very well. And that doesn't really help either. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so this pack of paper has some wonderful designs and ones that you could use without this stamp set. And I love that with the designer paper. So then this goes with the glass and the Artfully Layered cling mount stamp set and the Tropical Layers dies. And I believe it goes with this ribbon as well. And this is most of the suite. All right, so we're going to just put this aside for a few minutes. And I want to share with you my absolute favorite suite in the new catalog. And it's called On the Horizon, New Horizon Suite, I believe. And I am missing the dies. They're coming soon, so I can't show you the dies. But they're designer paper, a stamp set dies, these Pebble enamel shapes, which are very similar to the glass ones, and then this ribbon combo pack. So let's look at the ribbons first. So let's cut this part open and cut this one open. Come on. There we go. Plastic. There we go. Put that over there. All right. So we have, I don't even know what colors these are. Sorry, I should have looked ahead. But these are very light feeling ribbons. And they have like a little edge to them. Can you see? My camera's not going to show, is it? There we go. So it's like a grosgrain, but it's not. It's cotton ribbon. So it's just really, really pretty. And then we have the Pebble enamel shapes. So we got little pebbles, so they're sticky already. Put them right on your project. And then On the Horizon stamp set, the dies are like scenes. So they're really pretty. And it goes well with this 6x6 paper pack. And it has, I love watercoloring. I don't do enough watercoloring. But these scenes on the paper are just gorgeous. So you can have like sunset or sunrise, on the lake. Move these up a little. In the hills, like I could see a little deer over there. Hot air balloon ride. Stars and a moon type deal. So, you know, I could see a loon out on the lake. So it's really, really pretty. And then, so that's one side of the paper. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. So let's see if I can flip these around. Without too much hassle. So the other side, oh, this one's a double-sided, that almost makes me think of mountains with the snow. So then the other side is more of a watercolor wash. So you have a bunch of different colors all mixed in together, and it's just really pretty. So that's the New Horizon Designer Series paper. And it's one of my favorites from what I've seen while attending on stage. All right, so put this away. Oh, I put the box too far away. Oh well, I think I have enough room. Okay, so what did I do right here? So we're going to create a card, and I have all the pieces right here. And I would like to use this designer paper, and we'll put the rest back in my container for another day. There we go. And I had some dimensions I need to cut. So we'll grab the trimmer. And so we have this Evening Evergreen card base that I've already scored. Then I have this piece of basic white and a piece of mint macaron. So now we're going to cut our designer paper. I'm going to cut it. You could cover the whole card base if you want it. So you'd want to cut it 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But I'm going to stretch my designer paper by doing 4 inches. So if you do 4 inches, you'd get 3 strips out of here. So you could make 6 cards with 1 sheet of designer paper. All right, and then I'm going to flip it around to the side, and we're going to do 5 1/4. And I'm actually going to take this piece, and we're going to cut 4 3/8 because I would like this side. 1 2 3/8. And then I'd like to have 2 3/4. And I should have wrote down what the measurements were on this, but I can measure it for you. So it is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2 is the white piece. And then this is like 1/2 inch, and I'm going to trim it down, I think. All right, so bone folder. Fold this card in half. Then we're going to layer this here. I think I might trim these down a bit because I kind of lose the leaf. That's okay. We'll go with it. All right. So on this piece here, we're going to do some stamping, and we might do some die cutting. Get my little piece here. So the colors in the designer paper, I have all the ink pads here to show you. So we have Mint Macaron, Just Jade, Evening Evergreen, Calypso Coral, Old Olive, Pale Papaya, and Bumblebee. So a really beautiful selection of colors for this designer paper. And some of the colors I don't use often enough, so that's really fun. So we are going to use some Pale Papaya and Mint Macaron. That almost looks, is that Old Olive? That is Old Olive. Maybe we'll use Old Olive, Pale Papaya, and the mint together. I don't know if we'll need all 3 colors, but first we want to stamp our sentiment, because this piece of Mint Macaron is not quite big enough, Actually, maybe we'll get a different piece of mint macaron, because the sentiment, I think, needs to be separate from all the images. So we'll just grab this piece for now. And just try to decide if that might work. But let's do the other stamping first. All right. So I need a bigger block. That's what I want, the word. All right. So this stamp set is red rubber or cling. So it'll tell you on this top and also on the edge for you what type of stamp it is. So it'll say cling or it'll say photopolymer there. And for the cling, you'll have these stamps that you just kind of punch out the rest of the way from the rubber sheet. I was going to use thank you. Okay. I might use this one here. All right, so we're just going to put that in there for now. You could use, like, take the backing off of this and stick it in and hold your stamps if you wanted. That's not something I like to do, but you can play around with it. And then you want to take the backing off these. I'm going to stick them on the outside of the case so that I don't lose them. All right. So there I have the stamps on the case for now. This piece here, you can put so that you have images on the back side. I like to do that, but I'm not going to do them on camera right now. I'll do it later. All right. So now we're going to do this big leaf. And I think I'm going to do that in mint. Because it's such a big stamp, I'm going to put the stamp down and then add the ink. And I'm going to stamp it once, just because I haven't stamped it before. Not too bad. Sometimes if the ink is too saturated on the ink pad, it'll wreck the kind of, I don't know if you can see kind of the dimension on the stamp, but it's not too bad. All right, now let me double check and make sure this is the way I want this thing to go. Like this or like this. I want this way. Okay, good. So then we're going to put this right here, I think. And then I'm going to grab another block, put this on. And I'm going to stamp that in Old Olive. And like so. So just a reminder, these products are not available until January, but I wanted to share with you what is coming and play with new stuff, because that's always fun to do. Now I'm going to stamp off so it's not the full strength of the ink, and then stamp that there. Interesting. And I'm going to do that one more time, just down here. And I'm going to do that once over there. All right, so give this a wipe with my Simply Chamois. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could take these dies and like this one here, you could die cut like a little accent to step that card up again. Or you could use this die and this die to die cut these out, so then they can go beyond that image as well. All right. Oops, ink on my hands. That's okay. It'll come off eventually. Move those off. The out of my way. Okay. So bring out my trimmer again. And my thank you, I should be able to get away with 3/4. So 1/2 inch was too small. Let's try 3/4. That should be good. And I am going to use black Memento ink. And this is where I like to have the images on, because then I can see where I'm stamping. But in this case, I didn't even put kind of straight on the block. So let's just see how this goes. That is very crooked. More paper, please. Let's cut a couple of these. Three-quarters and 3/4. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I know there's always the back side too, but I figured maybe I should stamp a couple extras. Okay. So I'm gonna go that way. That one actually wasn't too bad. There we go. I like that. I'll save this other piece for another card. All right. So let's put this all together. So Designer Series paper allows you to choose colors that already coordinate with the pack of paper, because they're listed right on the pack, or even in the catalog too. So if you're looking at a suite of products, you'll find the colors that coordinate with it as well. And so that's one less thing to think of is, well, what colors should I purchase, or what colors should I use to make a project? Having the designer paper helps you decide faster. I think that's dry enough. I like having this grid paper to help me line up, to visualize where this paper is going to go. And we'll put a little bit of glue on the back here. And you don't have to use the liquid glue if you prefer to use the Seal or Seal Plus. That is crooked. There, that looks better. Sometimes with the liquid glue, the items will shift a little, which is why I like the liquid glue, because then I have a little bit of leeway with where things are sticking. All right, so there's that. And I am going to use some, oopsie, I need my tweezers. Mini, oh, I only have one left. Let's use one of the big ones. We'll use the main dimensionals. Put that there. Take the back off. And then we'll stick this down. Right to the edge of the card. There we go. And we'll add on some of these faux glass shapes. Just add a little bit of oomph to our card. Get my take your pick tool out. Turn up the putty a little bit. I think I'm still working on my original putty. Yeah, I'm still working on my original putty. Maybe I don't use this enough. Okay, so we are going to grab one of these little rocks and pick it up. So see, it's right on my, are you going to pay attention there, camera? I guess not. Anyway, it's on there. It's small, but it's on there. And we're just going to stick the rock in. We'll have one of the light green. Stick a rock in, fix the little putty. It won't really stick to you. Grab another little rock. Oops, that did not grab the rock. Try that again. And there we go. So just a little bit of embellishment to add to our card. All right. So don't go away yet. I told you that if you stuck around to the end, I would share with you the rainbow products. Let me grab the pack of paper to share with you. So this is the Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper that is part of Celebration. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 designs. So they're double-sided. So these two, and onwards. One's one side, one's the other side. So there's the paper. And what is it called? Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. And we also have, I don't know what the dies are called. Brilliant Rainbow dies. So they come in this package here with a little, so you can make a little sleeve in there, just like these ones here. So they're on a little sleeve with sticky. I can't store them that way in my drawers. So I put them in clear mount cases. So here's the dies. And here's the stamp set. So each one of these little rainbow pieces are different. So you can stamp them the rainbow color or any colors you want. And I made a card using this, which is pretty awesome because it cuts 4 out at one time. And if you cut 4 different colors, then you could technically make 4 more, like 4 cards without having to do a lot of die cutting. And so it's fun with little clouds, and I'm looking forward to using this because it's nice and bright. It makes me think of spring and summer. So thank you very much for watching today's video. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're in Canada and don't have a demonstrator and would like to have a catalog sent to you, please contact me. Send me a message, drop a comment below. I'll have a link as well in the description where you can request a catalog. And then I will send those out to you in the mail or get them dropped off if you're local to Kingston. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a great day.